So hi everyone, I building another bench in my workshop. So as you can see on that side, it's just cluttered right now. I need two of them really, and in between right here, I'm gonna have like a little work island. I'm gonna have a welder hooked up back here. I'm gonna have another one way down there on the other side of the shop for another 2-port outlet for when I can weld that side when the objects are too big to fit in here safely. So right now, I got the base frame set up. So what I've done is I've used 2x4s. I cut them 8 foot long, so I used a regular 16 foot, cut it in half. And this will be the base. And these are the vertical supports, what gives it the length. And it's not a really big workbench, but it's long and I have a lot of space, and that's why I'm doing it. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and move this down a bit. So I got two 8 foot 2x4s. Then I got I think it was 16. Yeah, I got two 16 vertical supports that are going to happen. Going all the way down here. Make sure everything's level, the trash is out. The board's twisted, but I'll be able to fix that. I'm going to nail it to the floor. So it won't move and everything's secured. Put those in the middle, and that will give it its shelving units, and I'll be able to, hold a lot of weight. Alright everyone, so I went ahead and I kind of spread this up because it's just me kind of hazily talking to the microphone and didn't really pick it up that well. So basically what I did was, you can see those, I guess we'll call them vertical supports. They're 16 inches long and just as a base format for the base of the workbench. This board was warped a little bit, so I had to kind of try straightening it out, and went ahead and nailed everything to the floor. And I guess if I ever wanted to move it, that would suck, but I don't plan on moving these two workbenches at all. So, as continuation of this, I nail everything down, make sure all the nails are even, symmetrical. And I went ahead and kind of just made sure everything was set up right. I made sure I had enough boards, made sure everything was alright, and kind of just eyed everything at first. Right here I made a T-support that acted as a leg and a stabilizer all at the same time. It will hold up the workbench up on top, and then on the bottom it will act as a support so it doesn't go left or right. And it also adds strength so I can have heavier machines up there. Alright, so now I put all the legs in place, they're built, they're all even. I'm just trying to go ahead and make sure everything looks alright. So I'm going ahead and nail everything just with a nail, just barely in place, just so I can get all the dimensions right and the supports in place. So then I eyeball it, and I'm just using a roofing nailer is all it really is. So it's not really, I guess, professionally done, it's just a quick build just so I can keep working. Any experienced carpenter can tell that this 2x4 is extremely warped, and I didn't have a whole lot of extra lumber laying around, so I went ahead and just used it anyway. As you can see, I made triple sure that everything was right, everything was as square as I can get it, and then I went ahead and tried making sure everything was square on the ends. So I went ahead and kind of watched everything as I was going. My father once told me, just do the job once, you won't ever have to do it again, and I kind of live by that. Now what you're seeing here is the top vertical, I guess we'll call them that, supports that go across, and they're on the edge of those 2x4s, and I'm making sure all the spaces are right. The overall dimension needs to be 32, which it's right on the money, and that's as wide as my table will be. I've made sure everything's pretty flush. You know, I'm pointing the camera and trying to explain some stuff, but again, the audio was a little bit crummy, and I apologize for that. Now, nothing moves. However, this way it does, but I got anchors, my studs I can use to push up against it. So, just looking for the best solution now. Saw cut edge up against the wall to hide all the defects. And then you got to line it up now. So as you can see, there's a little small gap between here, the plywood, and the 2x4. When the nail gun goes off, it'll clamp it down shut. Just making sure everything's alright. Everything's lined up. Make sure this is flush with the edge. And we're going to start nailing. I always do it with one nail in the corner right here. So when I nail it, I can still move it whichever direction I need to without it being super screwballed. So now that I've done my pilot nail and everything's squared, I go ahead and start nailing the top down. Obviously the nails are sticking out, and I usually just cut them off with a hacksaw or some type of pliers. So then I go ahead and I just try evenly nailing it all the way down on every side. And once that happens, I make sure it's still flush, I feel the edges, and make sure everything's square. I had a nail stick up over there, so unfortunately that was sticking up, but then I dust it off and I'm testing it so it's going left and right. You can see how I'm sitting on it, it's wiggling it, and I'm not really too fond of that. And here's the final product. Kind of got like a little lip right there that needs to be fixed, but other than that, it's pretty secure. And that workbench will be decluttered, and some of that will come on this side. And now I have an open area to work on projects that require other workbenches and for welding. Stay tuned for more. Subscribe.